Hey folks, welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. We're here in Aldia's Keep, standing right outside the boss door, but we're not actually going to be going in the boss door just now. There's still some areas in Aldia's Keep, some secrets that I would like to investigate. So, let's head back in. Something that you may have noticed while we were exploring were some unlit sconces, just kind of littered around the keep. These are the keys, so to speak, to the secrets that we are going to uncover. I'm also going to try to farm some acolytes, maybe get them to drop those weapons. The weapon has some lore that I would really like to share with you. We'll see if I get lucky. But yeah, sconces around the keep, about 4 of them in various different places. We need to light all of them and do a little bit more in order to get into the locked room over there that I pointed out last time. So, I'm going to light right here. You can also grab a light from the bonfire, that's fine. And set it alight. Now, of course, it wouldn't be Dark Souls if we just had to light it and nothing else. Once you light the sconce, an invader will show up. There's one for each sconce. I think there are 2 different kinds that can show up, like a great sword one here, and I don't remember the other type off the top of my head. And they're basically, they're like normal humanoid invaders. I don't particularly enjoy the PvP-ish style of the invaders. I'd much rather fight a creature. But this is the game's way of trying to create that PvP experience for folks who are playing offline, which, whatever. And so I've discovered through trial and error, by the way, that power stancing is actually not the best way for me to deal with these folks. Individual slashes like so will keep them stun-locked in a nice way for me. And that's 1 down. Running a little bit on life gems. I might need to grab some soon, but not right now. In the middle of something. Alright, second sconce is down here. Like I said, we can just kind of grab the light from here. We want to be a little bit careful fighting an invader-style enemy down here by the corrosive acid. Because, you don't want to fall into the corrosive acid. So there are 2 sconces here in kind of the lab area here. And then there are 2 in the entryway area that we did a couple episodes ago. So you will be kind of patrolling all over the keep. And if you go through and do this once you've cleared all the enemies, ideally without dying and respawning in bonfires, it'll be just that little bit easier or simpler. Too bad I died. Noticing that sometimes my dodges aren't quite long enough to avoid the tip of this guy's great sword. We got a wide swing that keeps catching me. Maybe I should be dodging through them instead of away from them, but that's hard to train myself out of. Don't get greedy. There we go. Alright, that's 2. Let's go ahead, grab this light again, and we'll head into the entryway. And hopefully not get bothered by enemies. I'm gonna these acolytes again. Hopefully they'll drop their weapons. One nice thing you may have noticed, these invaders do provide a nice number of souls. So even though they're not particularly interesting combat encounters, they are, you know, worth doing for the souls if you're feeling starved. Getting lucky about getting those weapons. Still a couple more. There is a chance we can do it. I believe in it. And if they don't drop it, I'll just read the item description for you anyway, because it's on the wiki. I'm sure that's how most people get the lore, if they get it at all. Yeah, just gonna ignore that basilisk. He's just chilling, doing his own thing. Scott's all the way down over here. I'm gonna try to keep this guy over on this end away from the basilisk. The guys in the lab, it looks like they had great swords. The guys here in the entryways have a scythe. And scythes, I think, are a little bit... They mess with me a little bit, because, like, the hilt, who cares if you get hit by the hilt? I think they've got, like, positional damage if you're a certain distance and actually getting hit by the blade itself. And it's, again, like a long reach, much like the greatsword, so... Let's get a little bit of healing. Okay, and... Oh! There we go. Alright. Lucky I got plenty of healing. One more Scots. Grab the fire here. Let's head back down towards the bottom. Bottom is where the last Scots is. And those mirror guys are back, so I'm going to avoid the back route there. Yep, right there. Let's light him up. Where did he? There he is. And yeah, another scythe. You know, I'm coming back to this this game after several years away with the series, and seeing that little hook thing, I get a flash forward specifically to the snake eyes in Sekiro, which is weird because they have like guns, but they have this kind of same hook move that the scythes do here. Anyway, so once you have lit all 4 sconces, a certain little thing is going to happen. Whoa! Skeleton comes to life. So I mentioned when we first arrived in the original release of Dark Souls 2, this happened when you first walked in. Here in Scholar, now it happens after you go through all that effort. And it grants you the Aldia key. King Vendrick condemned his own elder brother to the mansion. They both sought the truth, but through different means, and their fervor meant the eventual withering of their familial ties. So Vendrick had a brother, and they were both in their own ways seeking a solution to the undead curse. But apparently the solution that this brother was seeking, not probably the best. Now we almost have enough information to put together all the pieces of the puzzle. We just need the Dragon Acolytes to drop their weapon, and then we'll be able to connect some dots that I'll bet a lot of you have already connected, honestly. But yeah, now that we have the key, we can head over to those locked doors from last episode and check out the final room. Alright, we got some acolytes. Let's be sneaky here. Alright. So, for the most part, this is a pretty straightforward encounter. Just be aware, there are some caged creatures that you'll want to not break out of the cage. And there's also a ranged spellcaster over there on the other side of the room, who can, I guess, just shoot through the cage, which, sure, and maybe it's a little bit homing. So, be aware of that. Stay on your toes. But then also, yeah, look, hey, a gargoyle in the cage there. Don't want to let that out if you can help it. I don't think it's easy to do on accident, but you know, just be aware. All right, let's wrap this up. Nice. Okay. Just avoid the gargoyle. You can just walk into the cage there if you want to attack, but you don't have to. Just chill him. And then this is weird. All right, that is the same model as as part of the Prowling Magus fight from the Brightstone Cove Seldora. Which, what is that about? I don't really know what's up with that. Maybe if they're of the same congregation. But it's like very specifically a religious thing. We fought the Prowling Magus in a church. It's very specifically a religious thing here in a place of science. Maybe the Prowling Magus was a student of Aldia. I don't know. Anyway, is this gonna be it? No, alright. Dragon Acolytes did not drop their weapons, so I'm just gonna pull up the item description and read it. So they drop the Aldia hammer, which says, hammer used by Aldian acolytes. Not used as a weapon, but as an instrument to dissect the bodies of the victims of their experimentation. They say that Lord Aldia was the king's elder brother and helped found Drangleic, but he later lost interest in the land's fortunes. So, yeah, Aldia and Vendrick, brothers, both seeking out different ways to stave off or end the undead curse. Vendrick looked into the nature of the soul, tried to become a true monarch, whereas Aldia went the scientific route. And by scientific route, I mean experimentation and dissection and strange abominations. And so, in addition to various creatures, probably the Flexile Sentry, undead abominations, maybe the Mimics even, because we've seen a couple of those both here and in Drangleic Castle. All those were various attempts, and eventually Aldia gets led to maybe seeking out dragons as a means of fighting off the undead curse, and using giants to get there. Which is what we got from that pile of giant stuff and the bones and the dragon acolytes. And we can tell he's looking way, way back, because dragons, not a whole lot of them left after the whole Gwyn thing from Dark Souls 1's prologue. And we can see that in the gargoyle, because this is a belfry gargoyle. Has the same music and everything from the gargoyles that were used to protect Lordran and specifically Anor Londo. Aldia was looking way back. Didn't seem to have worked. Okay, so there's a switch here. Do not pull it. Bad idea. Pull that switch. All the cages open. This cage specifically, and out in here in the hall, also all of those cages, or at least this one, which, you know, I don't want to mess with that. I wouldn't recommend messing with that. Just let them chill out in their cages, all right? Safer for both of us. And if you do really want to kill the gargoyle, you can just walk in. See? But he's just chilling. Just let him do his thing. So yeah, that just about wraps up everything here in the keep itself. All that remains is the boss. But I gotta grab a summon real quick, because, you know, I want some company. Sellsword Lewitt, he's waiting for me. So I'll be back in just a moment with Lewitt. Alrighty. Lewitt, you with me? Ooh, hey, alright. Yep, you're there. Okay. Come on. Yeah, I'm back with Lewitt, ready to take on the boss. Now this boss, you can see this seems to be a cage of some sort. Much bigger, much more elaborate, but a cage nonetheless. So this is also probably a subject of Aldia's experimentation. What could it be? Well, a dragon, of course. So, we've fought a creature very similar to this before. I don't know if it was specifically a quote-unquote guardian dragon, but you may recall outside of the Cathedral of Blue in Hade's Tower of Flame, we fought a scaly creature that looked like this. That creature was almost certainly weaker than this one. Probably had lower health and lower damage, but quite similar. And moveset is rooted in the same capabilities, with a couple added flares for this boss fight. It can stop, it can breathe fire, it can also cling to the walls like this and go like... Also, worth noting, cage is open up top. This thing doesn't have great flight capabilities. If you look carefully at its wings here, the wings, the edges of the wings are damaged. Maybe clipped to keep it in the cage, maybe damaged for some other reason, but that means that it can't just fly out. It also means it can't stay in the air indefinitely, which is why it lands and allows us to attack it, basically. That said, it can still hang out in the air for a decent amount of time. So it's, you know, get comfortable. And I could probably shoot it with a crossbow bolt or two while it's up there, but I'm patient. Now, you might be wondering, Datai or Jake, depending on your level of familiarity with me, didn't Gwyn, kill all the dragons in the prologue to Dark Souls 1? Wasn't that, a whole thing? That really just had no long-lasting repercussion. It's not even in Dark Souls 1, honestly. But he missed, he missed a few, and we've encountered a couple more in here, and then Dark Souls 3 just gets real wild about it. Like a lot of things that he attempted, Gwyn's attempt to kill the dragons didn't really pan out. So, fun fact here, strictly speaking, this is a wyvern, not a dragon, but the soul certainly says dragon, and for all intents and purposes, narratively, it seems like it's treated as a dragon, but the wiki definitely calls this thing a wyvern, and who am I to argue? On the whole, not too tough. The fire can be tough. It can spread out over a lot of space, so keep your distance when possible. So, let's check out this thing's soul. Soul of a dragon that guards the path to the shrine. Do the dragons watch over the land of their own will, or are they in the grip of one of Aldia's spells? So, that item description gives us a little bit of a sneak peek of the next area. The area we'll reach by going up this elevator. There are more dragons where this came from. Or wyverns. Also, just want to appreciate the skybox. Very nice skybox. Very pretty. Except for that bit on the left. Don't look over there. That's not as great. Look at the rest of it, though. That's real good. So, there's a nice comparison here. In this adventure, we have gone very, very, very far below, down into the gutter and even further down, Black Gulch. We were down in Shrine of Amana, down in the Undead Crypt, but now we are very, very high up above everything else here in the Dragon Eyrie. It's a lot of dragons. This is where the dragons hang out. They're chilling. So we're gonna proceed a little bit here, just up to the first bonfire. But before that, a little bit of an NPC chat. You might recognize her. It's the Emerald Herald.
Bearer of the curse. Long have I awaited one such as you. One who might shatter the shackles of fate. One who can set me free. Bearer of the curse. It was my own manifestation that led you here. The ancient dragon has watched over the world for eons past. Take this. Do not resist. The dragon welcomes you.
So, she just gave us the Aged Feather, or Aged Feather, depending on how pretentious you are. So the Aged Feather is awesome. It kicks butt. It is basically, an infinite use Homeward Bone. We don't need Homeward Bones anymore, because the Aged Feather does it for us. We warp back to the last bonfire, keeping all of our souls. You don't need to recharge it, don't need to buy more. It's awesome, it kicks ass. The child of the dragon, sequestered away from the world, imagined a world of boundless possibilities from the mere sight of a feather. So the implication there, which I hope is stated a little bit more explicitly later on, is that the Emerald Herald is the daughter of a dragon. She is dragonborn, basically. You may also have noted that she said that her manifestation is what guided us here. There's an implication here that this is the real Emerald Herald, and the one hanging out in Majula is just kind of a manifestation. Which is sad, right? She dreamt of freedom in the world outside, and she still hasn't gotten there. And we are that symbol of hope and freedom for her. And of course, if she is the child of a dragon, is that a dragon created by Aldia? Was she in part created by Aldia? Maybe. Not sure. So, we have a dragon to meet. But we've got a lot of dragons to get through before we get there. But we're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.